Y'all know fall is coming. It's gonna get cold. Come on with me and make some homemade chicken and dumplings. You start off by boiling the chicken. Have some seasoning in there already, like garlic, pepper, that favorite seasoning that I love, and my chicken. Just gonna let that get done. Now you can use rotisserie chicken, but I don't know if y'all know me or not, but I like to use chicken, fresh chicken that I cook for stuff like this. I got my celery and chopped onions and chopped some carrots up that I'm gonna put in the pot. So I melted my butter. Then I'm gonna take my vegetables and dump them in and let those cook until they're a little soft with all those beautiful colors. This is what you call sauteing vegetables. I'm just gonna let them cook for a little bit. I'm gonna add some garlic to this mixture. This is garlic. I'm gonna add some flour because I'm making a roux. All right, so I let that cook about a minute. I got that flour browned a little bit and cooked. I'm gonna pour in and evaporate the milk. I'm gonna let that cook a little bit. This is just evaporated milk, and the other liquid that I'm gonna use is, y'all remember when I was boiling that chicken? I'm gonna take that chicken stock and pour it in this roux. Very careful, and it's gonna get thick as it cooks because that flour is in there. Stir up and just let that cook. All that yummy goodness from that chicken is in. All right, I got my chicken that I've shredded. I guess it's about 4 or 5 cups. Again, you could use rotisserie chicken if you want to. This is chicken that I cooked in this pan. You can cook everything, I guess, pretty much in the same pan if you had chicken already cooked. But I took my broth out and shredded my chicken and put my chicken back in. I'm gonna take this soup and I'm gonna pour it over into my chicken. Ooh, don't that look good, y'all? Y'all see it coming together? Gracious, that looks good already. Yes, that looks good, y'all. My bowl, I got some flour and butter. I just stirred it up. Say put seasoning, but since I season my chicken so well, I'm not gonna put seasonings flour. It says use milk, but I'm gonna use some buttermilk because I want it a little rich. All right, I'm gonna make this up. These are my dumplings. Buttermilk. Here's the dough. I'm gonna work it up a little bit. It's kind of like biscuits, but it's a little bit more stiffer than biscuits. So I'm gonna work this up. Just to make sure I got some flour on my hands so it don't stick to my hands. And like I said, the dough is a little bit more stiffer than it would be than biscuits. And just work it up, and then I'm gonna flatten it out and cut it. I work my dough up into a ball, and then I'm gonna flatten it out, and I'm gonna roll it out. Okay, so I don't have a roller. Don't y'all talk about me too bad. If you don't have one, you can just use cup. Put some flour around your cup and put some flour on your dough so the cup won't stick. Or if you had a roller. But like I said, I don't have a roller, so I'm going to improvise like, you know, how we have to do sometimes in the kitchen. So I'm just going to roll this really, really thin. Keep going until it gets thin. I rolled this dough under a 1/4 inch thick. So it's not very thick at all because I don't want the dumplings to be too thick. So I had to get it as thin as I could get without it breaking. The key to dealing with flour is when you have flour to put together by liquid, is to also have on the side some dry flour to help cut and manage your flour. So all I'm gonna do now is make my dumplings. I'm gonna take a knife, and I want them about 1 inch thick. So I'm gonna go down about 1 inch thick. And I did add a little bit of flour on the edge of my knife so it'll go down smoothly. And I'm gonna just do that. Then once I got all those cut, I'm gonna go and make some smaller dumplings, because you know when you eat, you don't really want them long. You want enough for like bite size. So I'm just gonna come down, I guess maybe about 1 inch this way, and just cut those out. I have my dumplings cut. And this is your dumpling. Just drop them in. Right, make sure when you're doing your dumplings, you have flour on the bottom. Mine kind of stuck a little bit. So just make sure you have flour on the bottom. So I'm gonna take these dumplings, each one. Look at that dumpling soup. Look at that soup. And I'm gonna take the dumplings that I made, and I still have flour on my hand, and I'm gonna dump them in there and let them cook. I'm gonna do it in different spots of the soup, but we gotta let these dumplings cook. Now you could have just took that dough and did some small spoons and dumped them in, but I actually want to cut my dumplings, and I'm gonna let all that cook together. Now each time I drop the dumpling, or I drop a few, I'm gonna take my spoon and kind of dunk it a little bit, just to keep them together so they won't break apart. And I'm just gonna put the amount of dumplings that I think I want. I'm not gonna use all that I made, but just the ones that I think I want enough, so it won't be too overpowering, but just enough. All right, after I got all my dumplings in, and the stove is like on a simmer low, because you don't want your soup to stick, so you have to make sure you keep stirring it. And you're gonna do this, cook it for about, I guess, about 10 to 15 minutes to cook your dumpling on low, but make sure you stir so it doesn't stick. If it gets too thick, you can add some more just regular milk in. When you stir easy so you don't break your dumplings up. I kind of go from the side, making sure I ain't sticking onto a dumpling, and I'm just stirring to make sure it's not sticking. It's looking good, y'all. It's almost ready. Right, here's the finished product. Looks good. You see the chicken and the dumplings. We add a little pepper on top to put in our plate. See the dumplings, the carrots. Time to take a taste test. Hey y'all, Jug finna take his taste test.
Good to me. You can taste everything.
Taste everything? Okay, I'm finna do my taste test. I taste all the flavor. The chicken, even though it cooked for a while, I would like it to be a little bit more tender, but it's pretty good. All the flavors, I could have used a little bit more pepper in it. I didn't put any salt because I already had seasoned the meat while it was cooking. Overall, it's pretty good. I wish y'all could have some. Thank y'all for watching. Ryan's Backyard Boogie. Like, comment, and share.